What's up, everybody? Apocalypse Movies here. This is Jacob Bartley, and welcome to 2018, a year full of movies that I'm sure we're all looking forward to, but not so much in January. There's not a lot coming out. We had a hard time even putting together lists of 5 movies that we're looking forward to, but there is a movie that was on my radar, but I wasn't looking forward to it because the trailers weren't doing good and the last few movies in the franchise weren't good, and that is Insidious: The Last Key. I just thought these trailers were trash, and I love the first Insidious, so that's kind of why I was kind of looking forward to this movie. But with the last one and the trailers not looking good, it was hard for me to get excited, but I was going to see it anyway, and I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. This movie wasn't terrible, and that's the best thing I could kind of say about it, because I thought it was going to suck. So it was higher than my expectations. And I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm not even saying it's a good movie. I'd have a tough time saying it's a good movie. It was better than I thought. So let's get into it. This is going to be a mild spoiler review. So let's jump into this movie. Now, the character Elise, I think it's really cool that they've decided to focus on her with this franchise, going back with prequels with the 3rd and 4th movie. And I'm cool with that because she's a great character from the first movie. But the third one was just, it just was terrible. So this one sets up her past, her origin, and people talk bad about origin stories, but I thought this one was really cool because this woman has been dealing with this gift her whole entire life, and you kind of wonder, when did it start? Where did this come from? And I guess she was born with it. She's been having this gift to see and talk to dead people her whole entire life since she was a little girl, and it plays a huge part into her tragic past of her father not believing her and her father abusing her because he didn't believe her and trying to whip it out of her. So I thought it was really cool how they set up her origin in this movie, and then how it affects her in the future, how she catches up with her brother in the future, and how her nieces play a huge role in the movie, especially in the 3rd act and a little in the 2nd act. So I thought them diving into the character of Elise and having her be the focal point of this movie, her past and her present, I thought that was something that really, really worked for me. Another thing is, it did a lot of new things that I haven't seen in the paranormal genre. There's elements of this movie that you think are paranormal, and you think she's talking to ghosts, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't see that coming, that's a real person, and the way they used that element in the story in several parts worked very well, and it was very effective, and it was kind of like this twist that they put on this genre, and they might have done this before in other paranormal movies, but not that I can recall or not that I've seen. So I thought that aspect of the whole thing was great. There's also a little bit of comedy peppered into this thing with the 2 guys that she's been working with. I think they're in the first one and the second and now, or the 3rd and now this one. So those 2 guys that go ghost hunting with her, they played a really cool part in that. And there's this really cool theme where the demons are in the real world too. They're not just in the dark or whatever it's called. They're not just in hell. There's living demons out there too, and that aspect plays a huge role into that too. And another huge thing for me is I love when they go into the further in these movies. In the first one, and I think they go into the further in all of them, which is the dimension where the dead live. And I just think that's so cool because it's kind of it reminds me of Doctor Strange or something like that, how they're traveling to this other dimension to fight these demons. And it's kind of really cool how you have to go there and pull people out. I love that mythology in the franchise overall. Of course, the movie has jump scares, and that could dive into my negatives. There's a lot of jump scares that don't work, but there's not a lot. There's not too many of them, though, to where it's oh my god, every scene is a jump scare. It's not overdone, but there's a few cliche ones. But there is one near the end of the movie that, oh my god, I had shivers in my body, and I haven't had that in a long, long time. But yeah, as far as plot and stuff like that, it's not great. There's a lot of cheesy elements to the movie. There's a lot of oh my guys moments, but it's not so much so to where oh my goodness, this movie is absolutely terrible. Like you see in a lot of these horror films, it wasn't that bad, but it's there's these things oh my goodness, now the niece is can do the same thing that Elise can do. I'm like, come on. It kind of played cool when they both go to the further, but it was like, that's kind of a little bit on the nose and cliche. Like, of course, it's like a family thing. It follows in the genes. But other than that, like, I didn't have too many huge negatives. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie when I was expecting it to be a total bomb, like totally suck, and it was actually pretty okay. I call that a win. So I am pretty satisfied with this movie, expecting from my expectations. I think you will not be disappointed if you go see it. It's a fun popcorn horror film. Like, if you just want to go out and have fun and be scared, which is what most of these movies should be. Not all of them can be The Conjuring, you know. And this is good. It's not going to make you cringe. Like, you're not going to be like, oh my god, why did I spend $12 on this? I think you'll have a good time at the movie theaters if you go watch Insidious: The Last Key. Alright, well, that's going to do it for my review of Insidious: The Last Key. I enjoyed it, I gotta say. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen the movie, what you think of it. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you watched this review, but let me know why you're looking forward to it, or why you're looking forward to it. Again, I'm Jacob Bartley. This is Apocalypse Movies. If you can subscribe, like, comment, we would love that. That would be great. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see y'all later.